Hey, it's Jennifer from Quiltin' Stitchin' and Kitties. I have something different for you today. I'm working on a block of the month pattern that required a huge amount of flying geese. So I decided to follow along with the pattern and do what it told me to do. So I'm going to show you the flying geese method where you make 4 at one time and there's no waste. And if you've never done it before, it does work. So hang on, let me get set up and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So how do you make these magical 4 flying geese with no waste? You decide what you want for your finished measurement. To the width of that measurement, you're going to add 7/8 of an inch, and you're going to make 4 squares that size. To the length of the measurement, you're going to add 1 1/4 inches, and you're just going to cut 1. So I decided to make a 2-inch by 4-inch finished flying geese. So I added 7/8 to my 2, and I got 2 7/8, and I cut 4 squares that size, drew a diagonal line on the back. Then for the body of the geese, I took my 4 inches, added 1 1/4, and I got 5 1/4 inches. So these are the wings, and that's the body. So your first step then is to take this piece, and you're going to take 2 of these squares and you're going to lay them very carefully exactly in the top left corner and the bottom left corner. I'm sorry, the bottom right corner, like this. And I'm working sideways, so it may not be perfect. But when you get these on there, if your line is off more than just a skosh, then redraw your diagonal lines. I use Frixion so that they're just going to press out. So make sure that those line up. Then you're going to stitch on both sides of that line at exactly 1/4 of an inch. So you need to be really accurate on this. Once you've done that, then you're going to cut right on that drawn line, and you'll get these 2 different pieces. What happens then is you're going to fold these back and press. And you need to press really, really well. So what I do is I finger press first, and then I hit it with the iron. So you're going to end up with 2 sections like this. And then you're going to use these last 2 pieces on the last part of it. So after you've pressed this, then we're going to add the other 2 pieces. Let me get my next board for you. So there's 1 piece. I've changed the direction just to make it easier for you to see. So I've pressed these really, really well away from the body of the goose. So now I'm going to take one of my 2 pieces that are left, and I'm going to line it up this way. So the diagonal is starting from the corner, and it's going to go off in between the seams. So right here, it's like almost like a little opening. Make sure that's perfect too. Then stitch on both sides of that line again, and then cut it in half. I'm sorry, cut it directly on the line. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get your flying goose. It's so amazing. So I did it several times to make sure that it was perfect, and it came out perfect. I mean, I got 4 just gorgeous flying geese. There's my 4th one. So I know it looks a little strange at this point, but fold that back. There's the magic. And they come out almost perfect, but you do have to be really careful. The only thing I trimmed was there's a little piece right here, like a dog ear, little dog ear off of those, and that's it. And it works for any size flying goose that is where you have like the length is double the width. So a 3x6, a 4x8. And you could figure half-inch measurements too. Math's a little trickier, but not too bad. But you still add the 7/8 to the width and the 1 1/4 to the length, no matter what size flying goose you're going to end up with. That has to do with how much extra fabric you need because you're creating triangles. So why did I need all this perfect flying goose? Well, you know, I'd never done this before, but I'm working on a pattern and I had to do 8 flying geese for 8 blocks. So that was 64 flying geese, and the pattern called to make it this way. And so I said, I'm going to conquer this. So let me show you what the results look like in a bigger pattern. Hang on. So here's what I need all those flying geese for. This is part of a pattern that is going to finish at 96 by 96. So this was just one part of it. It was a block of the month pattern, except you didn't just make one block a month. Sometimes you made as many as 16 blocks a month, all the same. So this is month 6. No, 5. That's only 5. Darn. I'm working on 6 right now. There's 7. And then you put it together. So I will be showing you this. It was through one of my little quilt shops, Coco's Press Kit Quilt Works. So here's all the wonderful flying geese I had to make. So I had to make these little flying geese that ended up at 1.5 by 3, and so I had to make 4 of those. And then that was set inside this flying goose, which was 4 by 6 or approximately something like that. No, 3 by 6, 3 by 6, I think. So then there's 4 of those. The pattern is really striking, especially against the black. But sewing with black is tough. I had a bit of a hard time on some of the seams, but I have to say that I didn't really cut any points off when I sewed this together. There are some that are extremely close, but I didn't cut the points off because the flying geese were so perfect. So that's it for today. I will show you when I finish the next month, and I'll go back and show you the previous month sometime too. So if you have any questions, please let me know. This was actually fun, and it was a challenge to make it perfect. I'm sure a lot of you have done this before and are very successful at it too, but I really did enjoy it. And I just love the way this looks. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you as always for watching. And I will see you again real soon. I've got a very exciting new quilt coming up shortly. Take care.